Alright, so there's this lady, Stephanie. She's pretty fucking psycho. She's been texting me for a few hours. Well, since yesterday, actually, being accusational, accusing me, all sorts of shit that she wasn't there for. People always do that. You did this, you did that. Things I wasn't allowed to defend myself to. Which is the whole reason that I'm so fucking pissed off, but I'm not allowed to be pissed off. Meanwhile, she's threatened my life on 4 different occasions in these text messages. She needs to stop. I ask her to stop, she doesn't. That's the issue here. I'm disabled. There are certain accommodations that need to be made for me. Sending me into a panic attack and assaulting me, threatening my life, these are not acceptable. This woman pretended like she wanted to help, and then she makes it all about money, all about money. I'm explaining to her that I'm wasting a bunch of money and a bunch of time on her that's wasting my fucking phone time, and I don't have the money to go into a place. I need her to fucking get off the goddamn fence and either do something to help or leave me the fuck alone. But she's got all these assumptions that, well, obviously, since she's typing all these goddamn assumptions, she wasn't gonna help. The other thing is, she was trying to tell me that I'm waiting for God to tell me what to do. She's threatening me with her husband, threatening to come after me, threatening to come find me. And then she's like, I was just saying, I'll kill you if you come on my property. Really? If you're going to come find me, then how does that work? I want to know that. Now, the things that these people all accused me of are things that I wasn't allowed to defend myself in court in. Any of it. This woman proved herself to be one of them fucking wingnuts. Just like Caramia, just like Layla Johnson, just like Kara Johnson, or Kara Miles, depending on what you want to call her. Now, I've already asked this woman to leave me alone on multiple occasions. She wants to type me bad assumptions and doesn't allow me to defend myself. So if she's going to do that, then no, she doesn't want to help. The other thing is, she threatened to pay off. She said that she was thinking about paying off my tickets and warrants. You can't pay off a warrant, first of all. Second of all, if you're going to do that, offer it. Actually offer it. Don't be all fucking pretendy. And then, when you don't get your fucking way, go, well, I was gonna. No, the fuck you weren't. It's not about money. Then she's like, well, I just assumed you would have said this in the video, or you would have said that in the video. And then she's like, I hardly ever get on the internet. I never see that shit. She's always on the fucking internet. Don't threaten my life. That's unacceptable. It's time for me to call an officer right now, though. So I'm gonna have to ignore this dumb cunt for just a few.
This is Officer Ramos with Boulder Police Department. I work Mondays to Thursdays, 7 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Officer Ramos, it's Sean Schwartz. I wanted to call you back and say thank you for returning my call this morning. I had a bunch of other stuff going on, trying to get my phone charged and trying to get gas to get further south. I'm going through a lot of oil, But I'd appreciate it if you give me a call back as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye. Alright, this is a temporary unpausing. I'm still waiting on Officer Ramos to get a hold of me back. A man just got a hold of me. He wants to give me some money to try to fight my case with. Um, I really need a place that I can rent that has internet that I can do something with. I haven't had the money to rent a place. I've had to be subservient in other people's abusive environments, and I'm not allowed to speak out. Meanwhile, people want to assume the worst in me. They want to send me into panic attacks and pretend like I'm a bad person for it. I'm really. It's not the money. I mean, it is, but the money is secondary. Primary is getting my voice out. Not just my voice, but the voices of other victims in this. Victims across the state of Colorado. Now, this woman who's been threatening me with her husband, with putting me in the ground, with burying me, she wants to retract and say, well, I said if you come to my property. I'm not going to come to anybody's fucking property. Are you fucking kidding me? If I'm going to harass you, I'm going to harass you over the internet. There's a reason for that. It's because I tried to do it the decent way. I tried to do it the justified and dignified way. But the predators kept coming at me. It got to the point where I had to expose the predators. Not that I didn't want to already. With my experience in trying to expose predators in the past, the cops don't give a fuck. They don't. You have to be a pretty girl in order for them to give a shit. Otherwise, they ignore you. Now, them officers last night that stopped me and talked to me, they had a legit reason to be there. They had a legit reason to talk to me, and they didn't lie to me so far as I know. Alright, I had to pause it. That gentleman called me back. He, he's been through some similar stuff, but he doesn't want to be in the public eye. He's got enough people after him. So, I'm going to do what I can. There's a lot of victims who are too afraid to come forward for obvious reasons. Um, a lot of these people that are harassing me, they just assume the worst in me. And then they don't give me a chance to defend myself, which really sucks, because then they go slandering my name, or they expect me not to get defensive, yet they get defensive. Or rather, offensive, and then get pissed off that I'm defending myself. Fuck you. It is always okay to defend yourself. Always. Now, this woman's like, you were just begging me to kill you the other night, and now you're saying you're afraid for your life? Well, the other night I was begging somebody to help kill me because I wanted my life to end. Now I realize that this woman is predatory. See, she just wanted to watch, and then once she found out that she could have an argument and start a fight, well, that's sure as fuck what she did. Now, I haven't threatened her at all, but she wants to pretend like she feels threatened. Well, with all the stuff that she's typed at me, yeah, she doesn't feel threatened. She gets off on this. And then she wants to talk about how she did it all herself. I am so used to these people. So used to it. I can't say I did it all myself, but I can say that I was alone through all of it. Why is that? Well, it's the difference between help and working together. See, when you got a husband or a boyfriend, you're working together. When it's a friend, you're helping. At least that's how it is in your minds for the most part. So then, because it's help, they owe you. Even if you made a deal and they pull through their end of the deal, and then you change your mind about what help you're going to give them, then you try to treat them like they owe you for the help that you gave them. Well, that's a pretty fucked up thing to do. And that happens quite often. Now, a lot of the people that helped me didn't actually help me. We were supposed to be working together, and they changed their end of the deal. They changed their end of the bargain. And then they want to be pissed off at me for saying stuff about it. There's also situations where I was completely fucking wrong. Seriously. But I admit that. I was completely wrong in believing that Ted Bollinger or Tim Beeson killed Natalie. However, I was not completely wrong about them being child molesters or rapists. The other thing is, there are other people that I falsely accused. Not intentionally, but I also did those things for a reason, to protect the victim. See, Jamie Curtis, her predator was somebody by the name of Sam. This was her best friend down in Greeley. Sam is a girl predator. And there are a lot of those. It's acceptable for a woman to be a fucking psycho. And that's the issue here. See, Sam did rape Jamie, according to Jamie. Also, though, James Payton did rape Jackie McKenzie, according to Jamie. But she also changed her mind about that. See, before they were dating, he was a rapist. And the reason that I had such an issue with her dating him, because she had a lot of guys that she was dating, and I didn't have an issue with her dating any of them, although it really wasn't dating, it was doing drugs and fucking. But it was her choice. She's an adult. What I had an issue with is her taking the boy away to go live with a rapist. That's not okay. Had she not told me he was a rapist, there wouldn't have been an issue. But he is a woman beater. He sure as shit beat the fuck out of Jamie. There's lots of female predators. There's a young woman named Rachel Klang. And her dad, Rodney Klang, liked to hit her. Well, he's a Christian. Her mom's a Christian. They used to have a church feed, and they fed us. Now, her sister, Rebecca Klang, molested her. She was also raped. But, although I'm one of those people who the cops don't listen to, that doesn't mean that I won't expose the fuck out of these animals. Just because you're a female doesn't make it okay. You still did wrong. Now, Rebecca has a daughter now. The Clangs, they were my friends until Natalie died. Much like most of the people who were my friends, when Natalie died, the dynamics changed. They weren't my friends anymore. They were attendees. Rebecca said, it's difficult trying to be your friend. It's emotionally exhausting. Like, what the fuck? What's emotionally exhausting about ignoring a person? How is that emotionally exhausting? And then she's like, I got stuff in my life going on you know nothing about. Shit, I got stuff in my life you know nothing about. That doesn't make it okay what happened to you. It doesn't make it okay what happened to me. And the fact that you stopped being my friend and became just pretty words on Facebook, well, that's pretty fucked up. Because the words that I typed, I meant. These people who say, I wouldn't ditch you, I'm here with you till the end. No, you're not. See, here's the thing. Since the cops wouldn't take my report, you know what I did? I made sure I did exactly what I said I would. I kept the predators close. There are predators on my Facebook. Of course, Rebecca was the first one in that family to ditch me. Her mom, her dad all blocked me within 2 days of each other. over telling the truth. Now, I got something wrong in there. I said that it was her grandma who died. It wasn't. It was her aunt. But what I was trying to impress upon people is that these people have problems, and there's a reason that they couldn't help. It's because they have legit issues of their own. Now, Rebecca and Rodney was in one of them groups defending me. Now, domestic assault, when you're beating on somebody and then you quit, maybe you changed and turned over a new leaf. I can respect that. I can be thankful that Rodney no longer beats his daughter. However, Rebecca being a sexual predator, sexually predatory towards females, and having a daughter does send off red flags. Now, to get back to them officers that I was speaking about the other night, they did pull some shady stuff that I'm used to from police, like the officer who came and talked to me did not have his body camera on. That way, if they decide that they want to pull some shady shit, they can. The other officer stood on the other side of the vehicle and behind me, far enough away that his camera could view me, but it wouldn't hear what we were saying. I did not get that officer's name. I don't actually care what that officer's name is. The fact is, those officers treated me with respect. Now, the officer who didn't give me his name, he's a fucking moron. He kept on pushing the drugs, and you need to go see a fucking therapist, fucking bullshit. Like, dude, you haven't even bothered to find out the situation, and you're trying to fucking push drugs on me. I need you to understand that autism doesn't hurt anyone. It's how you treat people who are autistic, because you have it in your head that people who are autistic are a certain way. That is the issue. You want to drug us without finding out what's going on, without getting an education. Now, if you have kids, and you have a husband, and you have a roof, and you have money, and you're still not happy, then maybe you need meds. Hello, Officer Ramos.
Sean, how you doing, brother?
I'm not doing so hot.
What's going on with you, bro?
Well, I'm having some pretty severe panic attacks. I have nightmares over the stuff I went through at the hands of officers in Colorado.
So are you, like, on any medication that you should be on for that, or what, bro?
No, sir, I don't need medications. I need a safe environment where it's not abusive, where people aren't screaming all the time.
You're indoors, though, right, Sean?
No, sir, I'm living in a Jeep. I'm actually on my way closer to Colorado now, but they pulled some real shady shit, and they used your name to do it. Last January, they told me they were going to take me in to make a report. They falsified evidence, lied, and prevented me from going to court. Officers across the state took part in this. That would be officers Lolatai, her, and Vanderleest.
Why would they use my name?
Because you're the only cop that I trust. I can't say that honestly.
That you trust?
You're the only cop in Colorado that I trust.
I appreciate that, Sean.
There's 2 officers in the state of Nebraska that I trust as well, but they can't help. It's obviously that's way out of jurisdiction.
So I thought you were living in Brookfield or Westminster or something for a minute. Was that not the case?
I was living with you remember Ken Wilson and Leah Plunkett?
The names don't sound familiar to me.
All right. Well,
you were living with them though?
Yeah, they Leah lost her daughter. She got hit by a truck, and they lost all of their kids, and they were all depressed. And after what happened in Virginia, in 2016, I was pretty depressed too. I mean, I literally lost all of my friends over the rumors that Maddie Bowe was telling. So I needed to be able to see friends, but they were pretty friendly until it got to the point where I had to make a choice between living with them or staying at low income in Nebraska. And I couldn't stay at the low income in Nebraska. It was too depressing. So I moved in with Ken and Leah full time in November of 2017, and immediately, like, it was a light changed in their heads, and they just started taking my money and telling me that they were gonna, because I had injured my foot stomping on a phone in South Dakota, so I was pretty well stuck walking with crutches at first, and then a cane later on. I couldn't carry anything that was load bearing, and
Oh, jeez.
it sucked. I was entirely dependent on them. So my disability
So did
money.
it heal properly or not?
My left leg did, but later on, when those officers used your name to tell me that they were going to take me to make a report, um, they took me to the hospital there instead, and they pretended like I assaulted them, and they assaulted the fuck out of me. My right leg, my right hip, my right knee is really messed up. My back is actually worse than it was before. I can't step off of a curb too hard without feeling lightning going up and down my back.
Did you file a complaint at the time?
I tried. They wouldn't allow it. They said that
Who would allow it?
the officers there and the jail wouldn't allow it. They said that I could make a report when I got out, but when I got out, they wouldn't allow it either. They said,
Well, we have a separate internal affairs unit called the professional standards unit.
the PSU.
Sat down, we didn't take in that complaint, brother.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I was trying to get that number, and I was looking up internal affairs. Basically, they kept on telling me I needed to talk to Officer Trujillo. But they didn't tell me that until August of last year, and I really got assaulted in the jail then. But it's not just that, it's the fact that so many officers had taken part in it. Really, what I'd like to do is get that number, but I need to find a pen real quick. Or a pencil.
I don't have the number on. I'm gonna have to call you right back, man.
That's all right.
That number, because I don't have it off the top of my head. And let me call you right back. Does that give you no time to find a pen?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'll call you back in like 5 minutes, brother.
Badass. Thank you, Officer Amos.
No problem. All right. Talk to you then. Bye.
Hey, Officer Amos, it's Sean.
Hey, son, you ready to write it down there?
Yeah, let me grab the Quran here. All right, I'm good.
It's 303 441 3304. 3304.
All right. How's Rabbit?
They call it professional standards unit.
Professional Standards Unit. Yes, sir.
I haven't seen Rabbit in a while. Is he okay?
I don't know. With all the stuff that happened with me, he's probably in hiding. I don't know. He's more of a fighter, but I had to.
You're breaking up, brother, man.
I had to expose a lot of people, and I did so over the internet because I couldn't get the officers to take my report. They just kept on lying to me. They pulled the Steinman routine, but they also pulled the good cop bad cop routine. They lied to me on a few occasions. Although, really, since I have the number for the professional standards unit, I'm gonna call them and try not to burden you with that. I got a question for you.
Sure, brother.
I have warrants out for my arrest because I literally had to do some pretty unorthodox things that, well, people were.
Let me double check on that, man. Out of Colorado?
Yeah.
So what you did, Virgo?
October 18th, 1980.
You do, man.
I do.
You got two warrants out for your arrest.
All right. Could I get where they're at and what they're for?
I'm pulling on the phone. One's out of Larimer County. for assault.
Yes, sir.
And it's valid statewide. Let me see what the other one's for.
Failure to
The
appear
other
at
one's
probation.
Arapahoe County
Yep.
for arson. Failure to comply.
Yep.
So you do a couple warrants. Let's see. So the one warrant is statewide extradition. But this Arapahoe County doesn't say what it doesn't say statewide or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what the boundaries are for this one, bro.
That's all right. I'm not actually planning on going to Colorado yet. I do want to take care of both those warrants.
Low, man. This was a $2,000 warrant.
That's it?
For the arson, and then the other one for the assault is $750.
$750?
$750 for the assault one.
Yeah, they pulled some pretty shady stuff and wouldn't allow me officers in those ones either.
I am not. Sorry. I'm sorry, brother. What was that?
A lot of the officers that I spoke with, they kept on telling me that I had to be in the county in order to make the reports. Is that true?
Like what kind of report?
Well, the assault by the officers last January.
No, that's not true.
All right.
By phone. You might be able to do it online, but I would call first to see how you can best do it. He might refer you online. He may not. He might take the information down. But I don't think there's a rule that says you have to be in the county.
All right, I got two more questions as far as that goes.
Okay.
At least 11 other people have tried to make reports on my behalf over information that they had, and they were told that they aren't allowed because I was told that I'm not allowed because I have warrants, but they were preventing me from doing so before warrants. And one of the ladies who was... Go ahead.
Regardless of whether or not you have warrants, they'll take that complaint. But they won't take it secondhand, so you can't have a friend call in to you, or even if he's a witness. Once that initial complaint is taken, then they'll talk to everyone involved.
All right, because I was...
But you have to be the one to initiate the initial complaint.
Yes, sir. Well, I attempted that on several occasions, and I was blown off. I do have the names of several of those officers, but not all of them.
Okay. So the person that runs the unit is the sergeant, and he'll be straight with you. He's not going to dick around with you. He'll let you know exactly what the rules are.
All right.
And he will be straight with you. There's nothing that I know of that says you can't do this while you're out of county, or if you're wanted or anything like that. I don't know of any rule that says that.
All right.
I'm fairly certain they'll take that complaint.
Well, that's the thing. When they sent them officers last January, I told them that I didn't want to talk to them because I've had issues with those officers before. One of them, not the other two. I wasn't familiar with the other two, but I was fairly certain that because of what happened and due to the fact that I'd been harassed by officers for 5 days straight before that over Natalie getting killed.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, man, because I remember that period of time, and it was unfortunate that you were mentioned in that case because it made your life miserable, man. It must have, especially now that it's all clear. No one's like saying, "Hey, I'm sorry about that," are they?
Well, it's not just that. It's also a few people did say they were sorry. Actually, there was a lady named Mariah, and she apologized. She was friends with... You remember Ben? He died on Christmas Day that same year over by the CU campus at the museum.
Ben Harvey.
Yeah.
Benjamin Harvey.
See, so me and Mariah both knew him. She became friends of mine because of me posting about him dying. And then 2 days later, Natalie disappeared. She said a lot of really mean things and blocked me and was all hateful. But since then, she's apologized and she is totally down for the cause and down for trying to actually get these predators off the streets. But the other thing is, like, these officers didn't really know who I was. They didn't know what I did. You know, these were just, they weren't Steinman. I mean, I can say that I'm glad about that. But
That's good because he has no fan base at all, does
he doesn't. He's not a decent excuse for a human being. Calling Brian Gray a bumsicle, and that wasn't the first time he called a friend a bumsicle. And he brags about shooting Ashley, and he didn't shoot Ashley. You know, Ashley did die at the hospital, and he was shot by an officer, but it wasn't Steinman. He just does that to egg us on.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
You know, we have good officers out there, and we have officers that paint the reputation of the people that actually are out here trying to make a difference. But,
I noticed that. I mean, when I was passing out blankets, you know, I didn't do that because Jesus said to. I did that because those were people that I love and care about. Those were people that I know, you know?
right. No, I hear you, man.
And,
I hear you. And you did good there.
thank you.
You're a good man. And you always have been.
I try to be, but the way that I was painted, I mean, I've had so many predators after me, and I can't stop the panic attacks now. I mean, I can't see any of my loved ones in Colorado without being called a rapist and a child molester and all sorts of other terrible shit.
No, you went through a hard time. It's real unfortunate that you had to go through it because you are a good man. And obviously, they got the right guy now, and he's in custody, and he'll be there for the rest of his days, hopefully. But
Well, people keep telling me I need to let it go, and I really tried to let it go, but these predators wouldn't stop, her family wouldn't stop, and the courts wouldn't leave me alone. I mean, all the charges that I had in multiple counties are for trying to defend myself, for trying to get officers to take a report. I mean, they thank you for verifying their bullshit. I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing.
I like to say the right things to cease the panic attacks, but that's got to be with you for a moment. You know what I'm saying?
It is. People aren't going to.
It's unfortunate, but hopefully over time they'll subside. I'm not sure if they'll completely disappear, but that's a real thing. You know, panic attacks are real. People that don't know anything about it don't know that.
Well, you know, I'm lucky because all panic attacks are over things that actually happen. I mean, I don't have panic attacks just out of nowhere for no reason. So I mean, that's something that I have on my side. I know a lot of my friends they just freak out for no reason. So I mean, I'm lucky on that count, you know.
Yeah.
But it is real. Like most,
You always find that silver lining, don't you?
I always tried to. I mean, I tried to spread the holiday cheer all year round. You know, being able to talk to familiar voices and see familiar faces. Like that whole time that I was trying to get that information to the Broomfield detectives, they asked me to go to Boulder, so I did. But I mean, the whole time I was praying I'd get to see you or Officer Paddock, and it just didn't happen that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I would have liked to have at least sat down and talked to you, not about the case or anything, just to see how you were doing.
Well, I got a question for you.
It's a lot of stress for anyone, but it certainly is a lot of stress for someone like yourself who maybe didn't have the support unit around you like you should have had. And so when you're your own island and you're trying to fend off all this stuff, it is near impossible. But you managed. That's the miraculous thing you managed.
I'm doing my best.
Talking to me right now.
You know, I do feel suicidal every day because of everything that happened. But like the thing is, I people tell me to love myself, and I do. Like I was good to people, you know? I got so many people that threaten me now that I've literally saved their lives. I've literally stood between them and people who are trying to stab them. Or some of them, I even prevented them from stabbing people, and now they have families. They're clean. They're off the drugs. They're out of the gangs. They're not selling. They're being family men, you know? I mean, that for them to be angry at me over things that I didn't do and to threaten me over things that I didn't do, like, I won't turn them in. You know, people say you should turn them in because they're threatening you, and like, why? They're family men now.
Well,
You know, they were.
you're definitely the bigger person here than you were.
Well,
So,
I don't feel like it. I mean, I got so scared, and these predators were still out there. I just started exposing everybody that I could, just because I thought that with what happened in January, I thought for sure that they were going to lock me up, and I wanted my friends and family to be safe. And I didn't know how else to do it. I was Miss Peaches was able to get me your number, and the first two times that I called you was from my old phone. It got lost, and like I was pretty pissed off that you didn't call back. But I was also told that you guys were going through some sort of computer change or some crap. So then when Miss Peaches gave me your number, I had actually gotten it the first time from Christine, and
okay.
uh, you know, I
All people that are on the street that I know very well with. Now you have my number, brother. So hang on to it.
Officer Ramos.
I work Monday through Thursday, and I don't usually have my phone on the weekend. My weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But Monday through Thursdays, you should certainly get a hold of me. And I got your messages over the weekend today, so I reached out to you first thing this morning. So
That was badass. Thank you.
if you just want to call and talk, brother, because I think we all have that suicidal tendency, but to go through with it is another matter. It's another level. But we all go through that thought process because we all have stuff going on in our lives. But I like to think, Sean, that you're better than that. You're a bigger person. You're a good person. Don't don't fall as a result of all the pressure that other people are placing on you.
I
Because
still
they're not
rescued
worth it.
Desiree.
You are worth it. So be the bigger person when you're feeling down and out. Give me a call, man, and I'll talk you through it. But you're better than that, Sean.
When
And you belong on this earth for as long as you need to be. But don't cut that short.
I turn myself in, can I turn myself into you?
So you have to go to Arapahoe or what was the other county?
Larimer is statewide, though.
Yeah. So just so you know, I don't arrest people anymore, Sean. Before, that's all I did. I arrested people, but right now I'm on this homeless outreach team, and we're basically told, hey, non-enforcement role, because you want to build that trust. So
You had that
I'd like
trust.
to
That's why we
accommodate
let you
because
arrest
I know
us.
you trust me. Um, I can't arrest you.
All right.
I could maybe take you to the county that you were, or I could even drop you off at the jail here and let you walk in and turn yourself in.
I was assaulted by the jailers there. That's one of the sets of people that I
Okay,
have
so
to turn in.
don't go here. So I'm not sure how you feel about Broomfield. Broomfield had this jail there. So if you turn yourself into any county in the state, at least for that one warrant, it's a statewide extradition, they'll take you in.
Yes, sir.
So find a county that you think is conducive to you just walking in without the police involved, because if you have a mistrust for police, it's probably easier and it says a lot to the courts when you walk into like a county jail and said, hey, I have a warrant and I want to turn myself in on that warrant. Be way, when they document the fact that you turned yourself in, it wasn't an officer that come across you and arrested you on the warrant.
Yes, sir.
So think about what county might work best for you. Boulder doesn't sound like it's the county you want to turn yourself in.
Well, Larimer isn't the jail that I want to go to, and Arapahoe is not the county I want to go to. Arapahoe was more psychological than anything else. But they did assault me there as well. They're covering each other's asses, and it bugs me because I had a lot of. You know how difficult it is for inmates to be willing to write a report, an actual police report? Like, you need an act of God. Well, I had several inmates that thought it was so fucked up that they wrote reports. So I actually have copies of those reports with me. I need to find a way to get that all turned in. But
we'll speak to the professional standards unit person and ask him how the best way is to turn in these reports. Maybe via mail, something that you feel comfortable in doing. And
yes, sir.
Hopefully they'll be able to accommodate you.
Thank you, Officer Ramos. I should probably let you get back to work, but dude, fucking thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sean. It's good to hear your voice again, man.
It's good to hear your voice.
I want you to hang in there, brother, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm doing my best.
When you decide to turn yourself in, make it, do it at your convenience. Do it when you're ready, okay?
Yes, sir, I will.
And maybe even research, call different counties up to see what the county that you feel comfortable and what you need to do to just walk into their county jail to turn yourself in.
Yes, sir.
But it does bode over well when you turn yourself in versus getting picked up as far as the courts are concerned.
Well, it's pretty deep in bad territory, but Officer Mike Bell might still be working for Aurora Police Department. So if I can get him, I know him. He's
a good man.
He's a hard ass, but he's straight.
Okay.
So that's acceptable to me.
Straight shooters are always good, man.
Absolutely.
None of this BSing around or whatever that these tactics that are used out there. Straight shooters are good, man. Shoot from the hip, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sean, I'm gonna let you go, brother. You give me a call, man, when you want to talk, okay?
Alright, I'll give you a call sometime between Monday and Thursday on your business hours. Be safe, Ramos.
Okay. Alright, brother, you too, then.
Alright, bye.
Alright, take care of yourself. Bye now.
That's the officer. That's the officer. When you know the officers personally, you know which officers are going to do what. You know that when you see Steinman, he doesn't care who you are. You're a hobo, you're an easy target. When you see Ramos, you know he's going to try to do the right thing. He doesn't always know what the right thing is to do, same as the rest of us. I had a story I was telling earlier about the officers here, how one of them was standing behind the vehicle, and the medication thing. I mean, a lot of people want to push that. I'm really pretty messed up in the head, and I'm not going to lie about that. I'm also not clear to drive. I mean, I have a driver's license. They haven't taken it from me, but I don't feel it's safe for me to drive. At the same time, there's a lot of stuff out there that I said that was wrong. Alyssa Rainwater, I posted up that video and I won't take it down. But she did do me right. And her mother did do me right. And the way that I treated them yesterday was not acceptable. I called Alyssa a liar. She's one of those people who said that the officers wouldn't take a report for whatever reason. But they tried to do right by me, and I treated them like shit for it. That's not okay. At the same time, I'm not okay. I don't have a safe place, and so many people have done so much fucked up shit that, yes, I'm paranoid of everyone. I am literally paranoid of everyone. But now I know that I could send this video so that she'll know. I mean, it's just such a fucked up situation. I'm not gonna go to court. The other thing is, this Stephanie lady, as far as paying for my warrants, this is the bond. So I guess she could have paid that, so I was wrong. However, with the way that she treated me and the way that she took everything so wrong, and the fact that she didn't offer that until after she was already pissed off and throwing a fucking tantrum at me. Yeah, when it comes to Alyssa and her mother, I'm the one who was in the wrong. When it comes to Stephanie, she was the one who was in the wrong. I had the wrong information in that case with Stephanie, but she was in the wrong for treating me the way she did. Now, in Alyssa's situation, she was wrong about that with her information. But, I was in the wrong for how I treated her. People keep saying that I'm twisting shit in ways that it isn't. No, I've been lied to a lot. I don't know who to believe. I thought that I did, but a lot of people got things wrong in their heads, got the wrong ideas in their heads, got the wrong excuses in their heads. They assumed that I was wrong in situations that I wasn't, or they judged me for situations that they weren't there for. This Stephanie lady threw everything that she could at me. You're a this, you're a that. I typed her a bunch of fucking cuss words. Do I feel bad about it? Fuck yes! I mean, seriously. But at the same time, it's not about the money. It's about getting my word out there, and this is the first officer that was shooting straight with me. That officer in Longmont, she was so fucking full of shit. Nobody should allow anything like that to happen to anyone. No officer should do that. There's this thing called the color of law. If you don't know your rights, they can do whatever they want. Now, I know that something's illegal. I know that it's immoral. I also know that officers like Deputy Vigil in the Arapahoe County Jail, they don't care. They'll lie straight up and outright. That guy is the biggest lying POS in the whole jail. But Officer McRae is the biggest excuse. That woman is predatory. She gets off on it. She thinks it's amusing and hilarious, and it's not. So to those who I was wrong about, I was wrong. And I'm sorry, and sorry doesn't fix it. Sorry will not fix it. Just like your sorries don't fix it. I said I was sorry to Natalie. Not for her being scared. I was just sorry that the whole situation went down the way that it did. And I needed people to stop assaulting me. Things haven't changed. They just got a whole lot worse. They sent me into a panic attack and assaulted me repeatedly, and that's not okay either. They shouldn't have used Ramos's name in the way that they did. They shouldn't have refused to take my report. But now that I got that number, that's a good start. I still need to find a place to do it. Hopefully that gentleman who wants to send me some money, it'll help me to get a place as soon as I get a little further south in the state. I can't believe it took so much money to get this vehicle just this far. It costs a lot of money to be falsely accused. It also costs a lot of money to drive a broke-ass Jeep this far. Natalie's family deserves justice. But which family members? Her mom got things wrong. That doesn't make her an evil person. Danica, Shelley, Alicia, Ted, these people all fucking know better. These people knew exactly what they were doing. And Alicia, man, she played victim. She did a lot of evil things. That's not okay. Somebody has to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, but I don't always know the right thing to do. Natalie didn't know the right thing to do either. I'm gonna fight these bastards no matter what. It's my number one goal in life not to kill anyone, not even by accident. There are 3 people in my life that I fully feel responsible for their death. That's not to say that nobody else is responsible. And that's not to say that I killed them. But if I had been more pushy, if I'd expressed to people fully what was going on instead of going, well, fuck, they're not going to listen. I tried 5 times. They're obviously not going to listen. Instead of doing that, well, no, I stayed pushy. I needed their help. I needed the violence to stop, and I needed to Natalie could have stopped this. She couldn't have done anything about Ken and Leah's. That had nothing to do with her. But the things that did have to do with her, she could have put a stop to. And Alicia could have put a stop to. And Maddie could have put a stop to. Had they come forward and been honest, instead of running around spreading rumors because they didn't want to be honest with their parents because they were afraid of what these people would think. They should have left me alone. Y'all know that Tim Beeson is a predator if you followed the story. If you guys paid attention, if you looked at all of the evidence before it was destroyed. There's still a lot of evidence, though. I feel a lot better now after listening to Officer Ramos. Be safe, y'all.